to overcome the challenges that inevitably await.
Now, usually on Sundays, we're ready to crown a victor, ready to crown a champion. It's usually why they call it Championship Sunday now, isn't it? But today is slightly different. Quarterfinals are among us, and we're looking at two best-of-threes. We're staring them right in the face, and we're ready to get this party started as we work towards finding out who's going to be winning this Intel Extreme Masters in the winter edition of 2021. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Trace, and alongside of me is Kassad and Moses for the time being. And gentlemen, it's been a short couple.
For the time being, that felt very ominous.
Well, it's true, though. There are going to be some changes. There's something that we can do to that. There's some roster changes coming about. Kassad, this is your last day with us?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So anything you want to say on that note?
Hopefully.
Oh, forever.
Nah,
Jesus.
Just kidding. I enjoyed working with you. You too, Jason.
Oh, thanks, man. Definitely didn't feel like an afterthought. It's fun.
Yeah, well, Jason, sometimes that's what you are exactly. So when it comes down to business, being the Counter-Strike that brought us all here, guys, it's been an up and down sort of event for a lot of different teams, especially the ones that you'd come in here and you consider favorites. So, Kassad.
Well, definitely for the first team that comes to mind in Group A was Astralis, right? You know, I mean, Yanko was spot on when he said that basically they ran out of steam after that Blast event. They performed very well there, almost like the top three. They lost in the consolidation finals against Vitality, and then coming in here, I think they just ran out of fuel a little bit, and then they lost to Liquid in that lower bracket match. They were just completely destroyed on that nuke. Same goes like against NIP, and Compik just, I think he tweeted himself that he was like having the worst performance of his career or something like that. But I mean, you can understand that. He just came back. They had a super good performance, him and Blame F in Blast, and this is not something that's going to be like too disappointing for them coming into the 2022.
Certainly, they're just looking ahead to practice. And over in Group B, obviously, I think one of the big ones, Heroic going out first, getting upset by GODSENT in the BO1, getting knocked out by FaZe Clan in that lower bracket. That was an early exit for them, quite obviously. Gambit starting slow in this bracket. Some of their games early on didn't really pass the eye test, looked a bit sketchy, but obviously a marathon day yesterday for them where they showed some real poise.
Gambit made it to the playoffs, Heroic didn't.
Yeah.
So that's another big thing.
Well, I mean, if you said that like, what, last year? It wouldn't have made sense, right? You would have expected both of them to be there.
Nothing made sense last year.
Yeah, actually, I think we're still trying to figure that one out. A lot of the equations there left to be desired. Jason, speaking of things left to be desired with the Gambit Fnatic game, you talk about a marathon that was last night, and that one did take some time. But they did get a victor out of it. Fnatic actually didn't put up as good of a fight on that third map of Overpass.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. That was like a tough way for that series to kind of end. It was just such a beatdown by Gambit because the first 2 maps in the series went to overtime where were excellent, were absolute bangers of a game. You wanted to see the series close out on a high note, but look, Gambit showed their quality, and Fnatic showed that they're still a young and a new team, and obviously it's going to be disappointing having, being in a position, being so close and having that taken away from you at the end if you're Fnatic. But I still think, look, they didn't like blow the world up with how they played at this event, but both of their losses were to Gambit, both in the best of one and a series to get knocked out of this event. That's kind of a tough thing to have to go up against Gambit twice.
Yeah, definitely. That last map wasn't really the true picture of like how the game was going, and I think overall Fnatic can be satisfied. Like you said, they only lost to Gambit, in the upper bracket and the lower.
Big and ends.
Not the greatest victories there, right?
Yep.
Not the worst ones as well, but overall I think they should be happy with progress they made in the last 2 months. So again, coming into 2022, they have the Pro League coming in, and I'm not sure about Katowice playing, but they have something to look forward to and keep working on.
Yeah, it's like Jason once said, $20 is $20, but a W is definitely a W, especially in this right here. You think about the successes of the CIS
Sounds like
over
something I'd say.
the past year. It's all on camera now. It's all on the internet forever. So we talk about the CIS region and some of the, diplomacy they put down on the rest of the world. It's been a CIS show for quite some time now, Jason.
Yeah, it kind of started out as like a little bit, not a joke early on, but it was like, haha, imagine what's going to happen when the CIS teams all take over. And then, boom, they did. Once again, memes become reality. This is wild. Na'Vi with 6, Gambit 4, Virtus.pro with 1. Heroic is the lone bastion of hope.
12 events
for Denmark.
11 CIS victories. That's absolutely crazy to think about the CIS region. It was the year of the CIS.
I think what it was I was on Reddit. I think it's even like every tournament that had a CIS team in it was a CIS player was the MVP as well. Yeah. Like they won the team awards, they won the individual awards, they got everything.
So what do you guys, in your own words, think kind of creates that situation? What separates the CIS region in the past year's time frame, 2 years time frame?
I just think that the meta kind of that switched when we started playing online kind of suited them the most. Yep. They have this crazy individualistic style where they swing all the way, just like keep doing these crazy things. That's the perfect way to describe CIS teams in most ways, but they're so sharp, they're so skilled individually, mechanically, the players like Yekindar, and so on, right? And even the other VP players as well. So because we can see it in this event too, but all in all this like individual meta kind of suited them the most. The crazy type of CS, they just use the perfect opportunity to do it. They're just the best, right?
I know you standing behind teams, you play some of those like younger Russian squads and scrims. They shoot real hard. I'm assuming everyone knows in matchmaking as well. Some of those young Russians are wild.
Yeah, they shoot hard and they talk even harder, let me tell you. Because there are some things that get said in matchmaking that sometimes I just have to sit back and let it fly, Jason. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, you just got to sit there and I don't even know.
And you take it, I think. Yeah, that was exactly what he was going to say. Didn't want to say it. He got a little scared. Nonetheless, I think it is time to put our money where our mouth is. And in doing so, I'm going to have to ask my lovely Vanna White-esque assistant here to please grab said box.
Do you know who Vanna White is?
Oh, no, not sure.
Right. Just Google it when you get back to the green room. I think it's great.
It's pretty close, right? So our 1xBet predictions, it kind of went like this. Only 2 had G2. Now we're going to find out who that is. Go ahead and open up a card here for me, Kassad. And I will say this, just to go ahead and ruin it for everyone, nobody had VP. Imagine that. What did Hugo have? In Group of A, G2 and Heroic. Fitting. Well, next card.
He was half right.
50%. And that does not get
keep him going. Keep him going.
Yeah,
Harry with Astralis and Fnatic. Now, Fnatic, I can understand why he's gone that route.
Okay.
Unfortunate how that turned out for him, though, I guess.
Yeah.
Sponge.
Just looking for my name here to like.
Now, this guy has a Mega Brain. They talk about Megazord. This guy has a Mega Brain. Vitality and Gambit. Now,
that's not bad.
That's not bad. He has done that. That's good. We're going to put him to the side over here. Next one would be Mr. Alex Machine Richardson. And he has selected Astralis and Gambit as well. Somebody's on something wrong. That Astralis thing, man, I feel that. I really do.
Yo, mine is gonna be nasty. You don't even want to know mine. Is that it right there? Just skip it. Just move on to the next one. It's fine.
This one right here is Moses' card.
Look,
Jason,
before you open this, I just want everyone to know I came into this event with the philosophy of swinging for the fences.
Okay. And what did that give?
Missed everything. Astralis in Group A, Heroic in Group B. I'm out.
Rip.
We may
God
as well throw this one out too.
I was on that Astralis hype train.
You might have to be at some point. I feel that. because I will.
You want to read this one too?
Hold on. We're not quite there yet. I got Paula right here, who has also somehow magically selected Vitality and Gambit.
A late addition to the box. Judge's ruling.
Okay, Jason.
Kassad now. Ooh, I'm glad I have you with me. If there's anyone that's going to be down in the pit, I'd like you with me. Astralis and Heroic as well. So we'll just toss that one in the proverbial trash can.
What do we got here? Oh, this guy, Yanko. All right, Let's see. Yanko has selected G2 and Heroic. Take a hike. What else you got? One more? All right.
How many talent we got on this broadcast?
There's a couple more in there, I think, right?
Oh, we're empty. That's it.
My God.
Pack it up.
You love to see it.
Oh, it's a classic.
Ladies and gentlemen, you love to see that.
He's
and you know
done
why?
it again.
That's
Trace
right.
somehow getting all the predictions
No, I
correct.
did get this right. Now,
Yeah, sure you did.
Who I selected to win the
This is
tournament?
the problem.
Not even close.
Since you doctored it last time, we can no longer trust you.
How do they say? A broken clock?
That's right, twice a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And luckily enough, it's time for us to go to a break. So how about that, guys? How about them apples, Jason? Let's go ahead and go to a break so we can come back and talk a little bit about the game that is NIP versus GODSENT. Now, the numbers say 966 days since Device and Taco faced off. And holy smokes, is that a long amount of time? We'll be right back after this break, everyone.
Seems like I can't get away from the hot sun. Always night and never day. Even when I wash the floor, the dust still comes. Keep on hunting for the bread. No matter how lost, need no light, no spark. I'm in line mode. With my eyes closed, I can see in the dark. I'm a quiet storm. Far from calm, I know you feel me, brother. Seems like I can't get away from the hot sun. Always night, it's never day. Even when I watch the floor, the dust will come. Keep on hunting for the prey. No matter how lost, need no light, no spark. I'm in line mode. With my eyes closed, I can see in the dark. I'm a quiet storm. Far from calm, I know you feel me, brother.
Absolutely, Harry and Hugo. Thank you so much, guys. We're going to be getting back to you shortly. Don't you worry. Don't fret at all. We are ready to kick off our quarterfinal with Nip and GODSENT. G2 awaiting just one step further in that bracket. And with me is Kassad and Moses to talk all things Counter-Strike and IEM. Jason, take it away.
Yeah, I think thanks for that. This is going to be a great quarterfinal. I think this is going to be really fun to watch. GODSENT's been impressive. They've had some good upset wins. Obviously, I think this would kind of making the playoffs. I think is already going to make this event good for them.
Oh yeah,
this win would make it absolutely stunningly great. This would be a huge thing. But man, they got to play against their own inexperience, and that's what kind of caused them to collapse. In that last game against VP, they had a really tough time.
Yeah, and you know there's a lot to unpack there for GODSENT from every game that you play here. You know, it's a lot to understand. It's a lot of learning that's still going on from their side. But the truth is there in the numbers, and you can look at what NIP has done and what GODSENT have done over the course of their tournament attendance in the last of 2021, and it looks like that. Makes sense, don't it?
Now listen, it's 12 events. We saw like NIP played all of them this year, right? And GODSENT have only major, and they were like dead last. But the thing is, like with GODSENT, they have been like, you know, since September till now, they're just performing like crazy. Like they should be absolutely happy with what they did in the last 4 months.
Yeah.
Yes, Trace?
Yeah, I was just thinking it's like a good point not to let off the gas.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, they should be happy right now. They should be in a really good mood. And the problem that I see here is that them not knowing how to deal with device.
Or yeah, I mean they had a really tough time dealing with Jame on VP as well. I mean he bodied him on Dust 2. So yeah, you have to imagine Device is going to be able to have a really good time today.
And plus the Rez was there as well, you know.
Yeah, Rez showed up.
You know, it's not even necessarily in my mind. Like obviously, of course, like Device and Rez in terms of actual players in the server is going to be something you keep your eye on. But for me, it's about can they overcome the pressure.
Okay, so let's just kick it all the way back to when we first started, because there was a statement, or rather a vibe check put out from the side of Taco, and it goes a little something like this. And I think we can all agree, Jason. Do you agree with the statement as put on here? Because I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, you know, you'd certainly hope that was going to be the case, though, right? Like, is this, I don't know.
It was like
this isn't like a mind-blowing statement to me.
No, it's not, but they followed up on it. They followed through with it. That's what we're getting at.
Right, yeah. That's great. Congratulations, they folled through on it.
Good job. Kassad, thoughts?
I mean, it's pretty, like, I guess he was right in a way, right? So...
Listen, look, let's just say this. Whatever your take on that specific quote from Taco, they've upset Heroic in a best of one. That was impressive. I don't think anyone would have expected that or predicted that to be able to happen, even in a best of one. And then they took out Big, a team that we've all kind of established as the gatekeeper of like the tier 1, like breaking into that tier 1
after
level.
losing.
Gotta be big to be there.
And that doesn't mean that GODSENT is now a tier 1 team, but obviously it's a good omen that they're able to come up to this level after going through the EPL conferences and now being in a position where you can beat teams like Big.
It's given the vibes that they want. Speaking of which, the vibe check that we need to check in on would consist of Paula talking over there to the GODSENT camp before we get started today.
What is going on, everybody? I'm checking in with GODSENT before their quarterfinals matchup against NIP. Demau, 18 years old, so young to be in this position, about to play an amazing team. How's it feel?
I'm feeling good, and I hope this will be a good game, and that's it. Yeah.
Mentally, Demau, have you been able to deal with the pressure?
No. I'm just having fun with the game and playing with my teammates, and yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Well, keep smiling, mate, and best of luck. Guys, let's head over to Taco. Taco, it's been a long time since you last played Device. He's on this new roster now. Have you prepared as well as possible?
Yes, we prepared a lot to play this game, especially against Device. He's a great player, and it's great to be back playing against him again. I was even talking to the guys. He's a guy that I lost so many times, and I also won so many times. So, I mean, this is a new chapter, I think, in my career and his career as well. So let's see who end up in the top.
Talking about chapters, Taco, it's been such a journey for you and GODSENT. You've put in so much hard work. What's it like being at this stage of a competition on LAN here at IEM Winter?
Oh, I'm out of words every time that I think about being this stage, and even seeing my pictures on the walls, you know, like from players that played ESL tournaments before. And I'm just proud and grateful and happy and enjoying the moment. But of course, it leaves that taste that I don't want to lose the opportunity to be here again and again and again. I don't want to not be here playing tournaments and playing big tournaments and against great teams. So the feeling is just grateful and yeah, I'm just happy, and we're gonna keep working really hard to reach our goals.
Taco, thank you so much for your time and best of luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, for Taco and GODSENT, it doesn't necessarily get any easier going forward, but that's one of the most exciting aspects of it. Speaking of not making it easier, we're going to have to run the numbers just to show in comparison what we're looking at here. We got the stats matrix we can run in, Jason, and quite frankly, it's gonna say all the numbers. Good job, man, putting all that in so fast.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, this is, as you can see, stats matrix. First deaths for GODSENT, 59%. That's not ideal. I think the clutches won and the clutches lost is going to be a huge factor for this team, especially with the inexperience. If you start losing those clutches, losing those close 10s, 2v2s, 1v2s, that's going to be tough to recover from.
The thing is, these first deaths, I want to know if it's like, you know, them going for it and dying, or they're just somebody coming for them and killing them. You know, that's a big difference right there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to be a problem either way, because you could see, I mean, I think NIP was like 10 to 20% above on all their opening kill percentages as well.
It's just a difference in like how you approach the game after. Like, are your flashes not good? Are your entries, like entry plays, are not like very structured, or is there somebody coming for you and just, you know, straight up killing you, out positioning you, or whatever it is?
And you're saying the kind of keywords that I'm looking for right here, which are about roles. And, you know, we talk about entries, we talk about IGLs, we can talk about oppers pretty much for any team, obviously. But when it comes down to these two, the comparison, what does that start to look like?
Well, I mean, Taco and Hampus here. Hampus, he's gotten a lot of credits from some people in Sweden. I know Yanko's big on Hampus as well. They've had some tough T sides. He is the in-game leader over at NIP. But overall, I think he's doing a solid job, a good job. Taco as well. Might not be like the most like tactical person that you're going to look at and lean to, but he seems to have this team in a good mindset. He seems to have led this team, at least in an emotional sense.
I don't know. I don't know how to evaluate Hampus at all, because I don't know what NIP is at this moment. Like, are they happy with the past 6 months since they got device? Are they like looking for something else?
Maybe the communication between them is probably making a lot of sense at that point.
Could be.
Yeah, yeah, it could be. They've talked about it a little bit. So really, I mean, it's one of those things that's not a problem like 98% of the time, but the 2% of the time that it is a problem is like those are the moments that you have to have
big time problems too.
Regardless, I mean, I don't know. NIP, I don't think they'd be happy, but I don't necessarily think it's the point of being happy about the last 6 months. Or are you happy with where it's going? Because this is going to be a process building that contender.
Exactly, like team like under construction kind of thing. Like, are we happy with the last 6 months, what we accomplished so far? Going into 2022, is it going to be like more moves? What kind of moves? Like, you know, the threat is stepping back, somebody else is coming in. You know, what's going to happen in 2022? How they feel about it right now.
Yeah, and, you know, for at least what it's looking like, we talked a little bit about what Taco and company have been doing, you know, for the past couple of months. And it's a lot of Counter-Strike they played, and especially on the side of NIP. So is there a crossover when it comes down to perhaps maps and something so basic as that, Jason?
Well, the fun thing with GODSENT and their maps is they really move around. They're very fluid in their veto process. They've picked like 4 different maps in the last 4 series. They've banned like 3 different maps in the last 4 series. They can take this a lot of different places, and it's going to be tough. And here, I think this is going to be a huge matchup we have in the game as well. Device taking on Dumao, the young opper versus.
This is a problem for me, because Device has been known how to deal with this, like, you know, underdog teams. I'm not going to say like diminish GODSENT by any means, because they've been playing great, but Device know how to deal with them, and they don't know how to deal with him. That's the biggest problem. He's going to be allowed to do so many things, you know, in this game.
I'm glad to see them ban Dust 2, because yesterday Jame absolutely stopped them cold on Dust 2 with his AWP, and I was very worried of them going up against Device on the same map.
Just collat after collat after collat. Doesn't make things easier, but Nuke, a starting point picked by GODSENT, a CT start for NIP. We look on into Overpass, the next map in this series, and what are the odds of us getting a little ancient there at the end? How about that, fellas?
How about them apples?
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting one. I was surprised by this Overpass pick, to be honest, by NIP. I was expecting something more standard in terms of Inferno or maybe Mirage, but you know, they know what they want, so.
They may have also seen, like, remember, GODSENT has beat Big on Mirage when Big picked it, and then they picked it against VP and almost won it there. So maybe NIP saying, obviously, they're feeling good on Mirage. Let's just stay away from it. Let's go elsewhere.
But if you're a favorite, you just go for your strength, right? You don't go for the punish pick there. Right? There is no reason for it.
Look, I mean, if you want to try and go real deep and read into it a little bit, perhaps maybe a little bit more, maybe they're just a little bit afraid.
So before we start, money where your mouth is GODSENT winning? Yes or no?
No.
No. All right, well, you guys go ahead and rain on everyone else.
Heart is with GODSENT, head is with NIP.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, NIP versus GODSENT. Let's get this one underway with Harry and Hugo.
notice you. My head is spinning round. Oh, I hear now. Yes, the wolves are out. Inside of our reality, satellites singing serenity. Send out a signal, please remember me. Send out a signal, come and set me free. I'll lose inside of our reality. Satellites singing serenity. Send out a signal, please remember me. Send out a signal, come and set me
Well, they tried, and they're going to have to try again. GODSENT with 11-4 first half. Bring this up to the point where you think, well, hey, what the heck? Maybe it could happen. But that is not the story that I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you that Nuke went the way of NIP right out of the gate. So I've got Jason and Kassad here with me as well. Guys, you wanted to believe. It's like Mulder and Scully. I want to believe.
What a reference that is. Not bad.
How many people remember that?
I'm surprised. Well, yeah, it's okay. Shout out the X-Files one time. Stranger things have happened, though, Jason. Tell me about believing.
Yeah, they really have, and man, you would have liked to have seen GODSENT have that come back and make that a little bit better. I think all they really did was kind of make the scoreline a little bit respectable. They got battered in this game. That first half was rough. They couldn't control the aggression from NIP. What was it? Hampus, S-Tag, and Device had great CT halves, 15, 16, and 17 kills respectively on those three players. They were just dominant. And again, it felt like what we saw against VP yesterday for GODSENT, where they were never comfortable with anything they had on the T side. They were never comfortable with what they had and what was coming next. And you could see just the game plans just fall apart.
The thing is, like, GODSENT tried many different tricks. They tried like fast aggression outside, fast upper hits, everything. Like, it's just NIP was always on the right spot at the right time, especially Hampus. Hampus was like, his mobility in this CT half was amazing. He was starting secret, he was pushing T-Red, he was buying an AWP. We were expecting Device playing with an AWP. He usually does in nuke games, but Hampus was like we see here. Hampus was the one with the AWP as well. So we can see him on ladder as well with an AWP. So a lot of mobility from him, a lot of impact frags, a lot of like stoppages from him alone to get this 11-4 half.
He was +5 in opening kills as well, so he went out on that side. And once he got over to the T side, Hampus kept it up also, which was huge. He went 12 and 8 on the T side to really make sure that NIP closed this out quick and didn't let it get too sketchy. Most of this tournament, it's been Device and Rez as the guys kind of leading the way. It's great to have Hampus just spring off like this in a map in the quarterfinals.
It's good to see on NIP squad that have 3 players that can actually perform. You don't know what to expect from each of them, right? And on the T side, like you said, they made it look close. you know. But I feel like it was the NIP realizing what they need to do after the first couple of rounds, you know, and then once they figured it out, they just, you know, adjusted, and it was 16-10.
It's almost like it felt to me like NIP came into this with like a very simple game plan and mindset, which is like, let's not overthink this situation. We are the better team. Let's just play a game. Everyone, you got a little bit of freedom here. Don't be afraid to make your plays when you see the opportunity. Don't be afraid, like we saw Hampus moving around the map and being aggressive at different positions, and a really cool game to see from them.
That is exactly how you should go about games like this.
But at least in a game like this, and starting to see a little bit of life out of GODSENT, does it make you think that we're going to have a little bit closer of a series, perhaps?
The thing is, like, what I liked was the fact that, you know, they tried different things. They were not scared.
They threw the whole playbook out.
Yes.
They just got stopped.
They dumped it.
Not saving strats for the majors.
The only thing that I kind of didn't see happening was on that T side, kind of, you know, readjusting a little bit, you know, well,
Yeah.
maybe like, they're aggressive outside, maybe we go some towards ramp, something like that. And on CT side, after the timeout, maybe we switch things up. They tried with the double lob as well, but maybe a little more of aggression outside, maybe some sort of like lobby push, something like that. They were kind of too stale at some moments. And
again, we saw that, and that was kind of the conversation we had about the GODSENT VP match yesterday when they were on that 7-round losing streak to lose Mirage in the end after being up in such a big way. Was, man, it's unfortunate, the inexperience, the inability to just slow things down, calm things down, kind of move on from what hasn't been working and find something new. And obviously, at least in this one, as you said, they did try things new. They did go deep into the playbook. They switched it up, and just nothing worked.
This is where they learn.
Just clearly the better team.
This is
That's
where
true.
they
That is
learn,
true.
you know.
The learning process for GODSENT obviously doesn't stop anytime soon with Overpass on the cards. Jason, if I said it's heating up, would you believe me?
Yeah, I trust you wholeheartely.
Jason said he'd give me $50 if I use this live on air.
You had to do the opening that you mentioned.
Are you talking about something like this, perhaps?
Yeah,
Am I alluring you, Jason?
a little bit.
Okay, well,
Do it one more time.
now it's done. Overpass. We want to hope that GODSENT can get their faces back in this series, because this would be kind of sad for it to all end that way, but still on a high note regardless.
I mean, coming into Overpass, it's a 50% like win rate on that map for GODSENT. I don't think they enjoy it too much. I think they might have expected something like this from NIP, like if they thought it like deeply. But starting on CT side will be their best, you know, strength right here.
Not only is it a really low win percentage, they've lost their last 3 games on this map, and here are the teams they lost to: Movistar Riders, Wisla Krakow, and Fnatic.
Go on, Kassad.
Here we go.
Go on.
Movistar Riders are not the best, not the worst team on Overpass.
No, not at all.
They're not the worst team on Overpass. Fnatic is always good because Alex likes that map a lot. Wisla Krakow, I don't know about that one.
Don't know what happened there. Don't want to know. We'll just
These other
forget
two
about it.
teams are decent, right? So we can just, you know.
Let's look at a break, and let's think about, you know, collectively on our end while we're in this break, what we can do, at least if we were GODSENT going into Overpass.
Okay.
Because it's time to bounce back in a quarterfinal here at the Intel Extreme Masters. And GODSENT, well, this is their opportunity to do it. NIP, on the other hand, looking to face off G2 in the next round, just one map away from that. We'll go to a break. We'll come back with our commentators in that game that you so want to watch.
He's playing Minesweeper.
constant flame. Open road and nomadic plans. I'm coming to get ya. I'm coming to get ya. I'ma bring it in the firefight. I'm coming to get ya. I'm coming to get ya. I'm the reaper in the dead of night. Lightning strikes in a quiet town. Bodies fall upon sacred ground. Burn a flag and a king is crowned. Coming to get ya. I'm coming, I'm coming. the smoke clears, I'll still be on my feet, forget all of my fears. Cause I know my destiny, I feel a champion waking inside of me. It's in motion, the legends spoken. This is my moment. Can't break my focus, know where I'm going. This is my moment. It's just the way we live. We own it. 'Cause that we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown-up kids. Just the way we live.
'Yeah, they done told me to be myself. So when I went and found myself, the ones who told me back then, be true to who I am, ain't think we was really gonna win. Now they watching us from the sidelines while we trying victories like we getting high tides. I'm getting my prize, only thing my eyes is locked in on. Have a milli mine. I want it right now, don't waste my time. Family in a penthouse with a view sky high. Blood, sweat, and tears bring water to my eyes. 'Cause the whole gang winning, I done gave my life. Odds low, but we did it, ain't we? And we always moving, never on the same thing. Now our lives are highlight reel. We like the thrill, this life's ideal. The hype is real.
We know it. It's just the way we live. We own it. 'Cause that we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown-up kids.
Two maps down, one to go. It was a tough outing on Nuke, but GODSENT managed to bounce back on Overpass. I'm lucky enough to be stood next to Taco to get his thoughts. Taco, run me through Nuke. Why did you lose your map pick?
Nuke was really difficult. We had a game plan to play at least the beginning of the game, going a lot outside, and they did a good job there, and we couldn't find a solution to have a good T side half. Besides that, we have a good start on the city side. We won the pistol round, and we thought that we could come back, but some key rounds, Hampus was playing really good outside, and yeah, it was difficult for us on Nuke, but yeah.
Overpass, on the other hand, you got off to a great start and then continued the momentum and got the W. How did you make that happen?
Oh, we are just, like I said before, we are just enjoying the moment, and even though we lost Nuke, I'm happy that we could bounce back on Overpass. We could keep the spirit and keep the energy really high for the team, with the team, and everyone is talking, everyone is communicating. That's how it should be, and we're going to come strong for this third map.
Third map is Ancient. Taco, if there's anything you'd like to say to your fans watching before you head back on the server, let them know.
Well, I just want you guys to know that we are going to do our very best to destroy NIP in this third map. We are really focused, and we really want this win. And let's do it. Let's go for it.
Thank you, Taco.
Thank you.
Thank you, Taco. And GODSENT, of course, pushing us into Ancient. Now NIP find themselves in a pretty precarious situation, well, at least in regards to where they thought they would be at this point. We welcome you back to the Intel Extreme Masters. It's Winter, it's 2021. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty, and not just in this tournament, the year ending, which means people want to end the year strong as well, and almost as strong as these two gentlemen to my right. I've got Jason and I've got Kassad. Now, Kassad, I'm looking at this. I'm thinking, yeah, NIP, they dropped Ancient OG a couple days ago. So is there a chance?
I mean, there is always a chance. One thing that I have to commend GODSENT is the mentality, right? They lost the first pick, like against Big as well. They come into the second map in the first half. CT said they just go all over the 12-3 half. You know, aggression everywhere, rotations, everything. Like shots hit. Oh, every shot is hit on the right time, and everything is going like according to plan. Something you wouldn't expect from a young team like that, you know?
Yeah, and that's I was going to bring up that very same point. The aggression from GODSENT on their CT side was just overwhelming, and it never stopped. It actually even looked like NIP figured it out, put a stop to the aggression a couple times. I thought GODSENT might go away from it, and they just went right back into more aggression, and it worked. It got them a great lead, and I think on a deeper level, that's like this is, you know, we've talked about GODSENT, or I've talked about GODSENT, you know, in the series against VP and big stretches there. The first map here against NIP, looking uncomfortable, not looking confident with what they're doing on the map. This was the complete opposite. This was the GODSENT you want to see. This is the GODSENT getting up in your face and feeling comfortable with each other, pushing forward, denying control, denying NIP what they want to have, and it yielded great results for them here on Overpass. In touching too, Trace, on your point of NIP losing to OG on Ancient, this win here from GODSENT, this puts NIP in a really tough spot. Their last 4 matches on Ancient have been super close, like 16-13, 16-14, overtime, 16-14 again. Like, this is a map that they're not, I mean, they tried to pick it, they tried to establish themselves as a dominant Ancient team early on the map's lifetime, and it didn't work. And now it's going to be really tough.
So what you're saying is that they've got a chance.
There's a real opportunity here, especially if GODSENT come out on Ancient the way they did on Overpass. It sounds crazy to say, but like Assad mentioned, the mentality of these guys being in a situation where, you know, they've accomplished their goal for the year in qualifying for Pro League. That was probably the big goal they had for themselves. They've accomplished more than their goal coming into this event in the quarterfinals, and now even knocking on the door of a semifinal. This is an incredible result for GODSENT already. So you're playing this with no pressure. You're playing this already realizing that you've kind of accomplished things, and everything you do from here on is just awesome.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this third map, I think they were happy coming into, you know, the Ancient map, right? They were either Mirage, which they played super well yesterday and the day before that, even though they lost against PP, they had a good game, or Ancient, they also feel good on. So coming in after the second map and such a dominant performance, especially on the CT side, they must be feeling super hyped going into the tournament. And I like the fact that Taco said, we're going to come in and destroy NIP, not beat NIP, try to beat NIP, try to do our best, whatever. We're going to come in and destroy NIP. That's a classic Brazilian, you know, let's go mentality.
And sometimes, you know, whether you believe that or not, saying that in front of your troop, that might actually go a pretty long ways too. Now, for Taco and company, I see this second map goes their way. That's fantastic. Now I look at NIP and what really created that. Not so much that the Overpass, but are there individual performers that are sticking out to you within the confines of numbers, Jason?
Nothing super crazy. I mean, not for NIP. Obviously, this is a really rough game, so none of their score lines are going to look entirely that impressive. For me, the one person that I'd look at where statistically you need some productivity is actually on the GODSENT side. It's Phelps. At this tournament, he's actually the only positively rated player on the entire squad. So that's the guy who throughout this event is kind of like the rock. He is kind of the foundation of the team where you've started to rely on him performing when you have some of these inexperienced players around him, and you need him to perform well to be able to enable the other young players to get involved.
Even with that, a single player like that, they're still in the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
for the semifinals.
It's crazy.
Imagine if when these players, all these like players, young ones, get in the position where they already play like a couple of, or maybe even 5 to 10 these events like this, what are they going to do then?
Yeah. I mean, this GODSENT, you know, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but it's looking like with their results of this event, and especially if they can take this really impressive scalp of NIP, it feels like this team is going to be just loaded with potential.
We saw Plopsky right now. He had a not so
puffy
good,
coat.
not a good map on Overpass. So I would want to see him. I mean, he has the potential, right? And then I want to see him use that potential and get this NIP into the semifinal in a game against G2, I believe.
Yeah, and they've got to get across the finish line here and now. Just one more map separating these two teams, and one of our our second semifinalists would have to be either that of NIP or GODSENT. That's what happens when G2 waits in the wings. We look at Ancient in a match that was 900 plus days in the making. Taco v Device. We'll be right back after this break.
Into my face. Tell me now why you want to wait. Running out of words you wanna say. I've been looking for you, looking for you, looking for you.
Nice killar. Skitbra. Stod ju på band där. Bra. Skitbra boys.
it is. It's the DHL MVP brought to you by the ESL Pro Tour. Of course, Hampus and company would have to be mentioned alongside of, well, I guess. We got Nip going to the semifinals. They're going to be playing against G2. And I've got Kassad and Moses here to make some sense of our candidates for this DHL MVP.
I think, just right out of the gates, there's kind of two that stick out to me.
You'll see, like, on the map.
Nuke was unreal. His dominance on Nuke.
He has to be the most valuable player of this series, definitely.
But the truth being, with Nip, obviously this was a little bit closer than they probably would have liked. They probably wouldn't have liked this to have gotten to a third map. And if you are curious about how to vote for your DHL MVP, you can use your Twitch channel points to go and vote. We'll catch up with that winner at the end of the grand final. But first, let's hear from Nip.
Thank you so much, Trace. Now, Hampus, you couldn't hear what they were saying, but the guys on the desk during that DHL MVP piece were being very complimentary of you. How does it feel to be performing so well?
Yeah, it feels good, of course. The other games, I've felt that I didn't play as good as I could, and to get at least one of the good maps in today felt really good, you know, to show everyone that I still got it, you know,
yeah,
after the first slow
everybody
games.
at home, if you agree with the desk, don't forget to vote for Hampus. All right, Hampus, let's talk about that matchup. Going up against GODSENT on Nuke, you guys did amazing work. You actually won that, which was their map pick. Why was that?
We did a lot of prep, and like we saw how they played before, and they played like the similar almost every game. So we kind of knew, like, when they threw the smoke, we knew what they're doing on the smokes. Like, if they smoked fast, they went A, and if they smoked like 10 seconds later, they go yard. So yeah, our analyst and coach did super good prep on this. So yeah, we just had amazing prep on Nuke, and it made us really easy for us. Then
going into the next two maps, like the scoreline swung, you know, then they took over on Overpass, then you guys took over again on Ancient. Is there any explanation for why that is?
I have no idea. I think, like, when they have their backs against the wall, like, it's if they lose the map, they're out. I think they all, you know, they stepped up in the moment, and all 5 of them just played better individually than us on Overpass. And then on Ancient, I think, yeah, it was the same for us, basically.
All right, Hampus, I've got to say, you're one of the most interesting people to see around the venue. He's always very loud, always trying to distract me when he's off camera and I'm doing something. But then on the server, yeah, you just light it up. How do you balance between being such a cheery, funny guy and then being super serious when it comes down to the work?
I don't know, really. I like to have fun, you know, and like I'm here to do my job and I need to do it good. So I used to do the switch, you know, to go full try-hard mode, you know, full serious mode. And when I'm not playing, I just want to have fun, because right now in this hotel, like, we can't go out and stuff. So I'm trying to make it a good time for everyone, you know.
Well, Hampus, I think you are. Good luck in the semis versus G2.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think that's what they call him, good time Hampus. Isn't that right, Jason?
Yeah, I hear it all the time.
Yes. Now, of course, a lot of things to grab from what he's saying there, but you can see probably a little bit of emotions running still.
Yeah, well, shout out to the technical director.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, that's great props to get. I mean, he even laid it out for any of the other potential GODSENT opponents out there. If you want to know how they work, you know, they throw the smokes fast. You know exactly where they're going.
It's pretty true.
The man with the plan.
So we see Nip going to play G2 in the semi. What do you feel about that?
Well, it's going to be a tough battle for both games. For both teams, sorry. G2 has shown, like, that they're playing, like, super relaxed CS right now. They had the problems against Tyloo. After that, they seemed very, like, confident in the game against Vitality yesterday. I know it was close, but Nico in-game leading is, like, you know, it seems natural almost, like, when he's doing it now.
Stop it.
This guy likes, I said that we were on a desk with a bunch of shit talkers, and this is the stuff that I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about. That's Kassad, everybody. He'll be here.
No, it's a fair point, though. I think the struggle, if you want to get on the side of NIP and believe they have an opportunity to take that, is on the other side is Nico, and it's not even the in-game leadership. It's just his individual level this year, especially since the player break has been so high and so consistent.
Yeah, and consistency is what pretty much every team seems to be looking forward to. Any closing thoughts? Because we got just a few more minutes before we get
Just a
into
godsend. I want to
Yeah,
talk
I
about the
think so.
godsend. The way they recovered, like in a few games here, and they had a decent chance to win this one. They lost that one. They won eco that they lost in the first half as well. That was just a clear case of like not enough experience in games like this, right?
Yeah.
All in all, mentality is there, right? The pieces are there. Ricardo is behind them to deal with it, to manage all the Brazilians.
The
there.
frustrations.
The fallout.
So all in all, they have good pieces. Brazil is in good hands, and they have some promising future teams.
Yeah, I think again you have to go back, and I know we've said it a couple times on this desk throughout the week. You got to give such huge props over to someone like Taco. Like, remember how much criticism he's faced in his career when he was on those Luminosity ones for his individual level, and it was always he brings other things to the table. And I think this is probably this GODSENT project is probably one of the best examples of what he can bring to the table. He's a great unifying figure within the team. He's marshaled these young potential future stars of the Brazilian scene into what's obviously a formidable squad to go up against. A lot of teams have been very impressed. Yekindar spoke highly of him yesterday playing against him. And you have to shout out to Taco for reinventing his game as an in-game leader as well.
Yeah, and very exciting stuff for Taco and company. You could probably put them on a couple lists. Maybe, Copenhagen Flames v GODSENT at some point.
Put him on that top 20 HLTV ranking list.
Yes, that one will do as well. For us, we will go to a break so that we can come back and get our next quarterfinal under the way. We're going to go ahead and see a little bit of Vitality taking on Gambit in a best of 3, but only when we return. You're watching the Intel Extreme Masters.